This is a demonstration of a Windows 8 Phone 8 app called HealthLog. So when you first start it, it uses voice commands, so you will end up getting this message saying to use the voice recognition you must first accept the speech. So you click there, you go back, and you go to settings, and go down to speech, and you have to enable speech recognition service. So after you've done that, you can now go to HealthLog and everything will be working okay. So for the start of the demo, I'm going to turn off the voice recognition so it doesn't interpret some of the things I say and try to do them. So I'm going to say stop listening.
Stop listening.
And now, as you can see, it says not listening, and then you'd have to say that to restart the listening. So for stop listening.
Stop listening.
So to begin with, you have to enter
Start listening.
stop listening.
Stop listening.
So you have to set your goals under settings. So you'd set the calories, the protein per day, the carbohydrate per day. These are numbers. They default to numbers that come out of the typical labels that you see on foods for a 2,000 calorie day. And if you had a different kind of diet, you would change these numbers appropriately. The fat is a computed number based on these other three being input. It'll actually compute the fat grams that remain if you eat all of these other items. Then you have your cholesterol, your sodium, your fiber, sugar, saturated fat limits that you can put in there. Put in your age, over here, your height, your weight, and whatever goal you have for your weight. And then that will be saved in your settings. So let's, after we've done that, then we can try. Stop listening.
Stop listening.
So we can show adding a meal. I'm going to do it manually, so you click on the food name, like chicken. I'm going to change this so that it allows me to type in the keyboard, chicken, say 4 ounces of chicken, and maybe broccoli, 3 ounces. So that shows you that you've entered these items, and as you do, the calories, carbohydrate, protein, and fat for that meal will be entered, and if you've had other meals during the day, it will be added to that total. And then you've got your goals from your settings, and then this will compute how much you have remaining for the day, how many calories, carbs, so on. Then you would save it, and now you can show the meals you've entered. One thing I didn't point out is you want to say either this or this to set the actual date and time for the meal that you just added, so that way it'll be set to the appropriate time. And then you show the meals, so you'd see the date and time. You'd see all, how many ounces were in that meal, how many calories, fat, carbohydrate, protein, and the items with their ounces. Then you could edit that if you wanted. So you go back here, you could delete broccoli, You could edit the chicken, change it to 4.3 and save it, and then save that meal. So that's a demonstration of the add meal. Now, many times you may not have food initially when you start this program, so you might need to add a food that you don't already have. So you would click the add food. Well, first of all, before I do that, let's just show some of the foods that start in the database. There are about 100 foods in the database right now. These may or may not be the foods that you eat. So you'll need to kind of review this list and look at the typical foods that you eat, see if they're on there. If not, you could go ahead and add them here, or you can add them here. So what you would do is you type in the food name. So use a food name without any numbers in it right now. Just have words, no numbers. And then you can say each of these items and it will actually enter. So you could say serving size, calories, total fat, sat fat, trans fat, cholesterol, sodium, carbohydrate, fiber, sugar, and it would show how much it would actually enter those items, and protein would be the last item down here. So after you've entered all of those off the label, or you can go to a website like Nutrition Data and look up a food that you have and get all this information and insert it. So then you would save that data and then you'd be all set. So I'm going to stop this particular segment and then talk about the add weight, add exercise, add pressure, and add sugar in the next segment. However, before I do that, I also wanted to show this pin item here. You can pin to the front a secondary tile, and when it's on the medium setting, it will show how many calories of the last meal and how much remains for the day, and it'll kind of anticipate 4 or 5 hours later what your next meal should be. If you change the size of this to wide, you'll get additional information like not only the calories, but you'll get protein, carbohydrate, fat, and it will be showing you the let's wait till it comes back. It'll be showing you the last meal totals, the day totals, the day goal, and the remaining for the day, and when that meal was eaten. And so that'll be kind of reminding you and flipping back and forth and showing you on a secondary tile. If you pin your primary tile, it'll also show this kind of information. So I'm going to stop now for the first segment, and then there will be another segment which will talk about these additional items.